Good morning, LBC Radio. My name is Cory Rosen, and I am with this story podcast. Today, I have on a special guest, Vicki Rogers. She is a awesome person. I tell you what, singing since her early childhood days, Vicki Rogers has been on a mission to minister using her natural God-given talent, her soothing voice. Her voice has been forged through her natural talents and the assistance of some formal vocal training, which augmented and refined her vocal abilities to its current state. Vicki has a Nashville gospel record contract with Redemption World Records. She was also crowned Ms. Senior Pennsylvania with her vocal talent. She's got the tiara here and her sash. It's awesome. Her 3 octave range was a part of the Musical Art Society of Lancaster for years, where she is a past board member and officer. She has participated in choral presentations for the Billy Graham Crusade, the Benny Hill Crusade, Lancaster Bible College, Ocean Groves Choral Fest, Handel's Messiah with numerous groups, F&M Choral Society, and Music for Everyone's Community Chorus. Vicki has been a worship leader, performed at Sight and Sound Theaters, Sandy Cove Women's Luncheons, Historic Philadelphia, sang the national anthem at the Reading Phillies and the Altoona Curves, coffee houses, art galleries, nursing homes, and weddings, and the Senior America National Pageant and PA and SR America Pageant. Vicki is using her soothing nature of her vocal gift in her profession as a registered nurse. Vicki has assisted her hospice patients transition into the tranquil mellowness of her singing, and as she has promised some, Vicki has sung at the services of their final worship, along the way, endearing herself to many of the families involved. Listeners will appreciate her soothing voice in her current CD available now. Listeners will be captured by how seamlessly her voice blends with the equally soothing instrumental arrangements on original songs and some of her own arrangements. You can find all of her work in the links in the description, whether we're on Facebook or any other streaming platform. You can find that in the description. Vicki, how are you doing today?
Very good, Corey. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty
You
good.
feel better?
I'm feeling a little bit better. My voice is
Okay.
still struggling though, but that's
Okay.
always a struggle, isn't it?
It's a good morning in Lancaster.
It is a good
It's
morning,
always a good day in Lancaster.
and it's always a new day.
It's a new
It's
day.
always a new day, and it's always God's
God
day.
woke us up.
God woke up. Tell you what, that's true. It takes more
He
than
didn't
my
have to. He didn't have to
no.
wake us up.
It takes more than my will to get up out of bed
That's
every
right.
morning. So what's really started your journey with was you said as a kid you started singing. Was that just on your own? Was that in the church?
It was just always in me. Yeah, I was raised in church. Yeah, sitting there in church, loving the music. And it's just inside of me. And it's always been inside of me. And it's always what I've wanted to do. My mother told me that once when I was a child, I was sick. And she said, if only Vicky would sing, I know that she would be better. So I
Hmm.
was always singing around the house. Music is just a part of me, it's in me.
And so how did that develop? Did your parents encourage you to join choirs?
No, no. But in school, we did have choirs and courses. So I joined as soon as I could as an outlet
As an
to
outlet?
sing. So I always sang since I was a child. And then when in third grade, is when instruments started. So then I started playing instruments.
What instruments did you play?
Clarinet,
Clarinet?
I did.
That's awesome. Is that something you still kind of hold on to a little bit, or
No,
no?
no, I don't do instruments
That's
in
totally
public. In
in
public.
public. In public. So, how did you grow this talent? How did you fertilize this talent? Did you go to college for it, or did
No,
you?
I
No.
didn't. I'm a nurse. I went into nursing. I would have liked to have done music, but I didn't know how to.
Mm.
I didn't know how to be successful in music, what to do. So I just went, did my job for years, and once in a while singing different places. I've sung, this is Lancaster Bible College, the campus we're on. I've sung Lancaster Bible College. They used to have a community chorus at the holidays.
Mm.
So I sang in that for years, but then they stopped it. But so I'd find out different places, choruses to sing in, and once in a while singing solos. I have my ministry is solo work. I'm a solo act. But then, so doing some solo work when I could or was asked, which wasn't very much, and then doing some community work, which wasn't very much, but always wanting more.
Hmm. That's awesome. When was that when Lancaster Bible College had that program?
I don't even, that was years ago.
Years and years, probably when
Well,
half this campus probably didn't
Timothy
exist.
Sidebotham.
Oh, yeah, Tim Seibotham. Was
Yeah.
that before or after his stroke?
Before.
Before, okay.
And then he even came back and did, I don't know how long he did it then, but he came back after his stroke and he was still director.
Oh yeah, he's an amazing person. I hope to have on in the future. He's
Is
one of
he
my.
here?
Oh yeah, he still
He's
teaches
still
here. Yep,
here.
he was one of my professors.
Oh, good.
Yes, he is
I
still.
liked him.
He is awesome. Have you met Rachel,
Yes.
his wife?
Oh, did they get married?
Oh, they did. Yes.
Aw.
They are awesome, and they have a little girl now.
Aw.
Yeah.
So I would find places to sing, and that just went on for years and years. Treading water, just treading water.
Mm-hmm.
I never had any idea of anything else. I just wanted to sing. I thought if I'd sing twice a month, that would be good. I just wanted to use what was inside of me to get it out, to express what was inside of me.
Mm.
So after years, then things just started happening like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Actually 9 years ago. Things just started happening 9 years ago.
Yeah. So, and before we get into that, I would love to talk about because you're talking. You've been around for a while, and you see
I'm
like
not going to
this.
tell you how old I am.
Right, exactly. But you performed at Sight and Sound when they had the old building.
In the old building.
I even know
Before
there
you
was
were
an.
born.
I didn't even know there was an old building.
It was burned down.
It was? Oh no.
And before this one that they have now, the other one was burned down.
What was that like? Was it as grand as the one they have now, or?
Oh no, it was smaller.
Oh yeah.
This stage they have now is as big as Radio City Music Hall.
Is it?
But yeah, it seats as many people. And it's a surround.
Yeah.
A surround
I've been in
theater.
There, yeah.
But the old one, I auditioned as a singer, so I got in the cast as a singer, and rehearsals, and for months and months, and then shows for months and months. So I was glad to do that. That was the show we did then that I was in. It was Behold the Lamb, so it was the life of Christ.
Mm-hmm. Well, back then, did they also work with animals?
Oh yes, live animals.
How was it working with live animals?
Well, that was good.
It was fun.
It was good, and they still had all the whatever it's called, pyrogenics, whatever.
Oh, all of the set design and all the everything.
Not as grand a scale as it is now. Now it's really.
Now, if you haven't been to a Sight and Sound show,
it's really world class.
Yeah, you need to go and see. In fact, we're gonna have one of the writers of the music for Sight and Sound this coming Friday, Kristen Brewer.
Okay.
A really good friend of mine. And it is incredible what they have going on now. David, have you seen David?
No, I saw Esther, and I want to see David.
Esther was so
And
good.
for you Lancaster residents, you know that with a Lancaster address, you get a discount on tickets.
Oh, do you? I did not know that. Oh, that is awesome.
You do.
Is that countywide or just citywide?
County.
County. Oh, that's awesome.
Okay. So now you know.
So now you have a reason.
You get a discount for being from Lancaster.
That's awesome. So yeah, and you kind of auditioned for these different groups, got in with these different groups, and it just nothing went further.
Well, there wasn't any further to go.
Mm.
You just did what they did, and then it was over. There wasn't any further to go.
How did you get those jobs? Were you acting as your own, or did you have like an agent that you wanted?
No. You just walk in, and for Sight and Sound, you auditioned. Yes.
But otherwise, just
and
walk in.
then for others, you just put your name in.
Mm. So you decided one day that you saw this Ms. Pennsylvania.
I had a friend who was in North Carolina who had the title of Ms. Senior North Carolina.
Mm.
And so that's how I found out about this. It's a pageant for older women. and you have to have a talent. But a lot of the talents are made up, or they do skits or readings. Some of them don't have what we would call a real
Like,
talent. I mean, I don't want to say that, but
yeah, I
you
know what you
know,
mean.
they
Yeah.
make up something just to be on stage. So I did it. I entered. I found out about the Pennsylvania group, and I entered because of my singing.
Hmm.
And I have no interest in the pageant world. I have no interest in the beauty world, and I still don't. That's not my thing. I'm a Lancaster County, Pennsylvania Dutch girl with some Mennonite heritage, and I never even did my hair and makeup. So, anyway, so I entered this pageant. It's not me. I just did it for my singing, and I won. Ta-da!
Ta-da!
So that was really the start of all this. Then, uh, for a year, I put myself out there, made appearances. Once in a while, I sang, but mostly just appearances, promoting the organization, getting
Hmm.
myself out there. But I learned a lot in this year. Learned how to be up front in front of people. Learned how to do my hair and makeup. Spent a lot of money on clothes, jewelry, makeup, all that. So it was a real learning time. So looking back, you can see how God used that.
Mm-hmm.
So that was 9 years ago.
Yeah.
And the founder of this was a Catholic boy who went to Oral Roberts University, and he was looking for a ministry. So he started this pageant that I entered. He started that as a ministry to older women.
Hmm.
So God can use anything.
I'm
And you never know what God's going to do, but you just do something and you don't know what it's going to lead into.
I'm curious. How does the whole selection for this pageant work?
It's based on the Miss America organization. It's the 4 categories of judging. It's the interview, talent, uh, gown. We don't have swimsuits, sorry. And we write a philosophy of life, which I wrote my philosophy of life, and I actually wrote a song about from that. So that's so I did that for a year, and you always have the title. So that's something I can always say. That looks good on the resume.
Well, it looks very good on your resume, I'm sure.
And not many people do that. So from there, and then that was really the start of everything the last 9 years. From there, it was just one thing after the other.
Hmm. What you said you had your philosophy of life. Would you like to share
Okay,
that?
I did my. So you have to write a philosophy of life, and I did this off of my nursing and singing mission statements, which is hope, healing, wholeness. Are you hopeless, sick, and broken? Through a lifetime of living, loving, caring, and sharing, I have learned to persevere through trouble. In the midst of my problems, I've found that no loving or caring act is too small. Despite many setbacks over the years, I have discovered hope, healing, wholeness in my life. Now my purpose is to pay it forward, to offer hope, healing, and wholeness to those around me. Maybe this would be a good time to play the song.
A hope, healing, wholeness.
Yeah, so I wrote a song from this, so this might be a good time to play this song.
Yeah. So tell me about this, the story behind it, because we
Well,
we
this
listened
is
to
the
it.
story behind it.
Well, but the music story, right? Because this was something that you weren't expecting, music wise, with the way he took it.
Oh, how I wrote this. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've never written a song before. Now, this is a whole nother story. Do we want to go into
Yeah.
this
Let's
now?
go. Let's if we're gonna play the
Okay,
song. Yeah.
okay.
Let's get into
So
it.
now we have to go into my record contract, how this came about. So I joined a national music group, and I met him through the pageant organization. He was in the national. I met him at the national pageant. He's from Charlotte, North Carolina, but he was up there as an MC. So that's how I met him. So I joined his national musical organization. He's from a big, well known family in music, and a board member for the national music group. I had my music in there in the office. He listened to my music and he approached me and offered me a record contract. He had a Christian label in Nashville, Jonathan Goodwin.
Mm.
I had never met him. So he came to me, well, just messaged me a couple of times saying, I'd love to work with you. And so for a couple of years, he came to me. And I didn't take the offer. I didn't really trust it. I thought, oh, yeah,
Oh
because,
yeah.
there's so much scamming
Scam.
and funny stuff in music. And I'd never even met him. I didn't know if he was a real person. It was so then he came to me 4 years ago. He came to me and he said, this is the last time he's coming to me. And he gave me a deadline of the end of the month.
Mm.
So a lot of prayer, a lot of still doubting. It was what I wanted, but was it what I was supposed to do? Because
Mm.
it would be a big involvement, and if it was wrong, it would be a waste of years, getting into something wrong. So it was a decision I had a tough time deciding. So it was a Sunday night, the 31st. I got out of church. It was a Sunday night. I came out of church in the parking lot, still praying. Got a call from him, the deadline's coming up. I signed the contract right before midnight. That was a big step, and still not knowing if it was right or what. Just, God, is this right? So he said it was a faith thing. So it was all about faith.
Yeah, sometimes the biggest decisions you just have to step out in faith.
So that's how I signed this record contract 4.5 years ago with Redemption World Records. And then he told me that he wants me to write life songs, life story songs. And I'm like, I've never written a song. So I was stuck for months. He said that good singers are a dime a dozen.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
He said you have to have something. People want something. And they like, original songs, of course. And songs, he's felt that I had stories about my life to write. So it was months not knowing what to do. I was stuck. I wish I would have known this before I signed the contract, because who knows? I don't know. But I was like, oh. So finally, I thought of things, magazine articles, and things I've written. And I thought of this. So I wrote a song from this.
From
Well, the
your
lyrics. I do the lyrics.
lyrics.
John's the composer. He's a genius. He's a creative genius.
Oh, for sure. Tell me about the composition process behind the song, the
This.
hope.
Well, I've done the lyrics for my songs, which I'm good at. But I also, another way I've gotten the lyrics is I have a journal
Mm.
where I write words that God's given me or other people's given me or things from scripture that stand out. So I looked through this book. I would think about life story songs and I would think about, what do I want to write a song about? So I had written, I have a son. So that's Hope, Healing, Wholeness.
Mm-hmm.
Now, another song that's on my first album with Redemption World, I wrote a song, I Believe, which we're going to play also. And I wrote that off of my spiritual, ethical will, which I wrote for my son.
Mm.
It's what I believe, what I want to pass on to him spiritually. So that's how I wrote I Believe.
Yeah, that's awesome. Um, there's another. I don't know if you've heard. I believe. Because it seems to be a popular song title within Christian songs. Um, but there's the Credo. I believe. That song. There's a really good rendition of it's a oh what is that? It's high high upbeat jazz. What do you call it? Funk a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's a specific word. I'm blanking on it. But I love we performed it here at LBC, and it was one of the most fun experiences. Called I Believe, and it starts out really nice and soft, like growing, like really soothing, soft crescendos, decrescendos, and then it's very operatic, put it that way, very choral, and then it breaks down into this party of belief in the Father and the Son and the Holy Ghost and God, and it's just wonderful. Um, so we're gonna play the Hope Healing Wholeness right
Yes.
now, and you can find that on any streaming platform.
Well, I have, well, it's in my album,
It's in your album, and
and
that can be
it's also
found.
YouTube. I think you're
Yes,
playing it off YouTube.
I will. Yes, I'm playing it off YouTube. You can find her on YouTube in the description. And is it Vicki E Songstress?
Vicki E. Rogers songstress.
Vicki E Rogers Songstress, and that's where you can find her on YouTube. With that said, this is Hope Healing Wholeness.
Hope, healing, wholeness. How can I help you? You need hope, healing, wholeness. How can I help you? In the midst of my problems, I found no caring act is too small. Hope, healing, wholeness. How can I help you? You need hope, healing, wholeness. How can I help you? In the midst of my problems, I found no caring act is too small. Are you hopeless, sick and broken? Tired, lost and lonely? Tell me, are you hopeless, sick and broken? Tired, lost and lonely? Living and loving and caring and sharing, I've learned. Are you hopeless, sick and broken? Tired, lost and lonely? Tell me, are you hopeless, sick and broken? Tired, lost and lonely? Living and loving and caring and sharing, I've learned. Everybody needs hope, healing, wholeness. How can I help you? You need hope, healing, wholeness. How can I help you? In the midst of my problems, I found no caring act is too small. Despite many setbacks, through all the years, I discovered hope, healing, and wholeness. Paid the price for all my sin. Now my purpose is to pay it forward. Offer hope, healing, wholeness to those in the world. Everybody needs hope, healing, wholeness. How can I help you? You need hope, healing, wholeness. How can I help you? In the midst of my problems, I found the caring act is too small. Everybody needs hope, healing, wholeness. How can I help you? We all need hope, healing, wholeness. How can I help you? In the midst of my problems, I found no caring act. In the midst of my problems, I found no caring act is too small. Everybody needs hope, healing, wholeness.
And that's Hope, Healing, and Wholeness. So that style of music is very unlike the rest of your album.
That's very different for me. I like things calm and smooth. That's very different. When I first heard it, I mean, John is the composer, he does the music. When I first heard it, I was like, oh my word, we're going to have to tone this down. Um, and I said to him, I said, John, oh, well, you had a party and you didn't invite me, while you were recording this, because you do it separately. I was in the studio all by myself and I just put my vocals down. And so when he sends something, you don't know what it's going to be like. But he's a creative genius. He's just wonderful. And so I was thinking of toning it down. I was like, oh, no, 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 no. But I had a neighbor, a young person who's in music, and I asked her, and she liked it. So I have come to like it. I really like it now.
Yeah, that is a party and a half. Uh,
It is. It's fun.
yeah,
Yeah.
I can see.
Woo!
I wonder though. I wonder what it would have been if it had been sombered down.
Well, uh, it's good for me not to have all the same type of
Oh, of
style. That's
course.
good. So
Yes.
it's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. And um, actually, I was going to be at the Grand Ole Opry, and we'll probably be going to the Grand Ole Opry again. I mean, not again, but getting it booked there. So this is actually the song I was going to do. I'm going to do at the Grand Ole Opry
That'd be a lot
because
of
I
fun.
think the audience would really like this.
Oh, I'm sure.
More upbeat. Yeah, it would be fun.
And that's in Nashville, correct me if I'm wrong. Grand
Yes.
Ole Opry.
Oh, the Grand Ole Opry is an iconic place, a
That,
musical venue.
that's one place I missed when I went to Nashville the first time.
We go again.
I am.
Yeah, you're taking a road trip, and I'm connecting you with Jonathan.
Yeah,
That maybe you can meet him, and you can do a backstage tour of the Grand Ole Opry. I did that.
that would be awesome.
Yeah, it's good. You actually go into the green rooms and the dressing rooms, and uh, yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm really excited for the road trip because I'm meeting so many people from, and all of these towns are surprised like music towns. I'm going to Key West, which is a giant music town apparently. Well, granted, it's a lot of tourists go there. I'm going to New Orleans. There's a music town
Well,
galore.
that's
Right? Yeah.
well, they're all different
They're
styles.
all different styles. Yeah, I'm going to Dallas. It's Houston and Dallas have their own music scenes. Nashville, of course. Atlanta is really rising within the music genre. So I'm really excited to go out and explore different music towns. And you have your CD.
Yes, I gave you my CD, and actually, the title of it is "Hope, Healing, Wholeness,"
Hmm.
the same as my song.
So you can definitely check that out. That's on all streaming platform or Spotify at least, right?
Or they
Um,
can, oh yeah, iTunes. They can contact if they want to buy an album. They can contact me.
yeah.
717-808-45.
I wouldn't give out. I
Okay.
wouldn't give out on
Okay,
the
I won't
radio.
give it.
I'll protect you that way.
Okay.
uh, but they can message you on Facebook. They can
Yes.
do that, and they can message you privately
Okay.
to figure that out. That's how I would do that.
Okay.
But right now we have your I Believe song, which is all about your own beliefs.
It's I wrote the spiritual will to give to my son Jesse. It's what I believe.
I'm curious how does is your son your only child?
Yes.
How does he respond to your music?
Um, it's not his style.
No,
Not yet.
but does he support you in all you do?
Oh, he does. Yes.
That's good.
He's proud of me.
That's good.
So I wrote this for him. So I wrote this song, I Believe. And like you said, there's many I believes. Even 40 years ago, Rich Mullins, I
Mm.
believe.
And but this is your
I
rendition.
believe. I believe.
Yeah.
Yes.
But this is I Believe by Vicki E. Rogers.
in the God who created, suffered and died for me. I believe there is a just God who loves us, forgives us of all he sees. I believe in healing by the stripes you took for me. I believe, I believe, I believe in the body of Christ. I believe in marriage, one man and wife. I believe the church universal birth. We are brothers and sisters. He created in us to reveal himself in each of us. I believe, I believe, I believe in the Holy Ghost. He will fill you and me, baptize you and me. I believe the Holy Word, it nourished my soul, loved me to life. I believe eternity, our blessed hope. I believe, I believe, I believe in the body of Christ. I believe in marriage, one man and wife. I believe the church universal birth. We are brothers and sisters. He created in us to reveal himself in each of us. I believe, I believe. Blessings to my beloved, restoration through perseverance. I believe in family, bearing our burdens, loving and worth. I believe heaven I'll live forever with you and me, united forever with my loved ones, touched by God, all for my beloved, your inheritance, my legacy. I believe.
Well, that's just beautiful, isn't it?